Hi, I'm Michael Cohn from Advanced Tubular Technologies. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss the appropriate arm model for your application. And what I will need to show you is how we calculate that value. This arm is a hexagon 8325. The 83 is a model number that specifies its accuracy, and the 25 specifies its volume capacity. So 25 is converted over to 2500 millimeters or 2.5 meters in order to allow us to know that this arm can reach approximately 2500 millimeters from this direction, pointing the ball away from the base, to the other direction, pointing the ball away from the base. Well, that's not how we measure tubing. When we measure tubing, we have to articulate around the end on this axis right here in order to get to the end. So that reduces the length of this 2500 to something else, and we need to determine what that something else is in order to suggest to you the correct arm length. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I would calculate that number. Anybody can calculate this number. It's really easy. Turn off the N-scan flare filters for this test, because this vector is going to be used to create a single length of tube. This is going to be an end, and that's going to be the end. With the N-scan flare filter, it assumes that we're using this particular vector at all ends, and it's not the case down here. So we want to turn that off so it doesn't get in the way. Measure process, quick start, 1, press the enter key, and it will automatically turn the laser on in most configurations. And I'm going to go ahead and scan the end, scan the straight. Now we have our vector. Let's go to the other end. And this is about as far as I want to stretch. I mean, I could go a little further, but I don't want to stretch the arm out, because when you stretch the arm out that far, it's going to reduce its accuracy, and we don't want to do that. So that's about as long as I want to go with this 2500 millimeter arm. Finish and build, and there's your number right here. See the length down here? That's 18. We're just going to say 1888. So now what we're going to do now is load in a calculator, and we're going to take 2500, which is the model length, and then we're going to subtract 1888, which is 612 millimeters. So that's the distance that we would use to compensate and determine then what length of arm to recommend it to you. So in this case, it would be 1888 would be the maximum distance we would use for this particular arm. Let me just convert that over for you to inches, for those of you who think in feet and inches. Divided by 25.4 and that's going to be 0.3 inches. So it 2500 millimeter arm can reach further than 74 inches, but not on a tube. And so that's how we would figure that out. So if you, for example, had a 108-inch long tube, a lot of them, and you wanted to get an arm that was long enough without moving the base on a Trax or a mag mount or a tripod, then what I would suggest to you is to then calculate the length that you would need, like this. Let's say you got a 108-inch tube times 25.4 to convert it into millimeters. So 2700 millimeters is what you need to be looking for in your total range. Well, okay, that sounds like we would go up to a 3000 millimeter model, right? An 8330, but we have to add 612 millimeters to that, don't we? So that's going to be a 3355 now, which means a 3.5 or 3.5 meter arm. So we'd have to go to an 8335 in order to really get around to the ends and measure a tube that is 108 inches long. Now, keep in mind, if you've got a lot of tubes that are shorter than that, but just a couple that are longer, then I would recommend go with a shorter arm to get increased accuracy and save money. But if you have a lot of 108-inch tubes, for example, then you don't want to be moving the arm constantly in your day-to-day operation. So I'd say just get a longer arm to allow for faster measuring. So that's how we would advise and give you an actual model number that we would recommend for your application. If you have any questions about what you've seen in this video, please feel free to reach out to me or my team at support@advancedtubular.com. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Have a great day.